Howdy folks, I've Controller here with a brand new playthrough of Silent Hunter 4. Captain Ken Masters is back for a second round and he's ready to dragon punch the Japanese Navy right in the poop deck. Our last playthrough of this game was frankly spoiled by some crappy enemy AI that was just a little bit too friendly, I guess. And some amazing torpedo nonsense, by which I mean that our torpedoes were 100% effective when I actually bothered to take the time and compute a proper solution for them. So this led to the game being boringly easy, I would say. And so I've done a fresh reinstall and added the Trigger Maru overhaul supermod, which means that in the course of my time with this game, we'll have sampled a good chunk of the many supermods for this game. I kind of talked some garbage, I guess, about Trigger Maru in my first run of this game because I thought it was a little bit too difficult. I think that they tried to make the game realistic by making it really, really tough. And I should say that now, based on my kind of brief test runs, that I'm not so sure that that's true. And in all honesty, I would prefer to have a challenging game rather than a turkey shoot, because what am I going to do with all that turkey? That's a lot of turkey anyways. Gobble, gobble. I've got a few other mods running, come to think of it, and those include the Run Silent, Run Deep campaign layer, I guess, and the Pacific Sound mod, and I have a few other little tweaks that are related to, well, mostly to Trigger Maru and Run Silent, Run Deep. So I want to say at the outset, because I know that this is a big deal for people, I am going to continue the tradition of adding people to the crew, but I mean, it's a lot of fun, and it gives me a strange and unwholesome feeling of power over you all. But having said that, it is kind of a pain in the ass to keep track of everybody's requests to be added to the crew, because most people include their request as a part of a larger comment, which is fine, but it makes it sometimes a little bit hard for me to parse who wants to be on the crew and such. So in order to simplify things, I have a humble request. If you want to be added to the crew, please leave a comment containing the phrase, "I love greasy torpedoes." I'll say it again. I love greasy torpedoes. You need to include that phrase somewhere in your comment so that I can just do a quick find in your message and add you to the list that way. And then you can, of course, include what name you'd like me to use or what have you. And you really should consider yourselves lucky, because my other idea was to have you guys type the phrase "my dick hurts." Not saying that my dick hurts. You would be saying that your dick hurts by saying "my dick hurts," which is, you know, literally what you would be typing. My dick doesn't hurt, in case anybody was wondering. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that note. We're going to do a full campaign, and as I said, Captain Ken Masters is going to be taking the helm. There we are, and I've decided to set it to approximately the same date that we left off at. I think that this is correct. If I can find it, there we go. December 1st, 1942. And we have a few different options as far as our assignment. Subpack here would put us at Pearl Harbor, I think, and we would get a Gato class, I think, or a Narwhal class, either one. They're both actually pretty fun. Task Force, what is it? Yeah, 35171 would put us at Perth, which is where we were in our previous career. Task Force 4272 puts us at Brisbane. And finally, we have Task Group 8.5. This was a flotilla of 6 sugar boats that were based out of Dutch Harbor, and historically the sugar boats had a really tough time patrolling the Bering Sea. They were outdated boats as it was, and they just were not designed to operate in the Arctic anyhow. And there's some really kind of awful stories about how, you know, the crew would get broken arms from the horrible seas up there, just getting thrown around. And I've also, to be honest with you, I've had my fill of sugar boats anyways, and I think that that's probably a pretty boring area to operate in anyhow, going forward at least. So I think we're actually going to go with Task Force 42/72, and that'll put us in Brisbane, as I said. Guadalcanal is still going on. It's not as active as it was, but we should be getting into the New Guinea campaign not long thereafter. So I think it's a pretty solid choice. The other option that I was thinking of was Subpack, because you get to actually attack the home islands in some cases, but it takes forever to get anywhere. You have to go from Hawaii and then to Midway to top off your fuel tanks, and then you have to sail for couple thousand miles or whatever to get to your area of operations. So I think that this is really the best choice for us, at least for my own sanity. We're going to be tinkering with the difficulty later on. Don't pay this any mind. You'll see what I'm going to do with that later. And I think the minimum amount of renown is 2,000, so we're going to stick with that as well. Let's continue on then. I think we get our little list of orders. You've been approved for a command of the USS Grenadier, a GAR-class submarine assigned to the Task Force 42/72. Report for duty at Brisbane, Australia, no later than December 2nd, 1942. I like it. There's an annoying video that will play after I hit the proceed button, so that causes some issues with my recording, so we're going to be skipping that and going directly to my office. Pull up a chair. Some of the more eagle-eyed viewers among you may have noticed that I named my captain Ken Master, not Ken Masters. That egregious error has been corrected. I apologize for any pain and suffering that may have been inflicted upon you because of that. Meanwhile, let's click on the radio for some reason, because that's where the gameplay settings are. Let's look through here. I think I preset this before I started, and it does look correct at this point. The only things that are enabled or disabled, depending on how you look at it, that will make the game easier are the no map contact update. That actually has no effect on your realism score, but this does decidedly make things easier to have this disabled, meaning that you will have map contact updates. Basically, you can see on your map exactly where the enemy is located, if they're within visual range and such, so it does make things easier. It makes things more manageable for me let's playing it, so that's why I have that unchecked. Also, the no external view, that's pretty important for doing a let's play, I think, to be able to show you guys what the hell is going on. So that is unchecked, so we will have external view. I'm sassified with that. Let's take a look at the Grenadier. And it's our crew, and that's funny. I feel like I had a crewman named Creed Malcolm C. Scott in a previous playthrough. I don't know. All the names are complete. This is Charlton B. Wolfe. Blish I. Schmidt. Get out of town. That is outrageous. Of course, these names will be replaced with your names, should you so be inclined. Should you be so inclined. English is a dumb language, what can I say? We probably don't have a lot of upgrades. I did actually already upgrade our SD radar. So other than that, I think we're good to go. And our torpedoes. We're going to have a lot of Mark 14s. This is the default loadout. I feel like we do need to use a lot of Mark 14s to make up for our previous playthroughs where they were just so ridiculously effective. I predict that they will not be so excellent as we go out on our patrol here. I think we're good to go. That's where our medals would be. Our medals have been stripped. Perhaps we committed some egregious offense. I don't know. Speculate as you will, viewer. Let's go ahead and see what our mission is. That's kind of what I was predicting. We are in the area of the Solomon Islands. We're not quite at Guadalcanal, but we're more in the area of Rapal, which is kind of dangerous. So we're supposed to proceed to south of Rabaul and conduct anti-shipping operations. Remain on station for 72 hours. However, if IJN units are detected outside of the patrol area, proceed at your discretion to intercept and destroy. Make reports to higher authority as necessary. Okay, I can do that. I want to start in the... Well, it's docked at the tender. That's starting in the harbor. So I guess I'll see you guys there. Very good. Welcome aboard the USS Grenadier. So we take a little trip around our command room. Ooh, looks like we're in the red light district. And then I got my typical crew of slack-jawed idiots ready and waiting for my commands. Let's go topside here. It's going to be kind of tricky to remember all the different key commands because I've polluted my mind with the shortcuts for Silent Hunter 5, which are stupid and wrong. So you have to bear with me if I forget what button to push in certain situations. But looks like we're good to go. Brisbane is looking very, very fine. So let's get underway. Really not much else to do. Other than to take in the majesty that is our submarine, the USS Grenadier, a GAR-class submarine, a handsome vessel, and one that I have adorned with a logo. zoom in on it here in a minute. Now, Trigger Maru allows you to put a logo on the side of your ship. Normally, you have to mod the game pretty heavily. Well, not heavily, but you have to do a little bit of graphic design work to do that. This is much easier with Trigger Maru, and I've decided to go ahead and put the face of the First Lady, Eleanor Roosevelt, a total badass. And you know, Eleanor Roosevelt once said, "A woman is like a tea bag. You can tell, or you can't tell how strong she is until you put her in hot water." And I think that the same is true of submarines. So I think that there's no better symbol for our ship than Eleanor Roosevelt. If you guys have recommendations for logos, by all means, feel free to suggest them. I may or may not use them, but, you know, figure that might be a fun little thing. I'm very happy with this. She looks really happy to be with us. I'm happy to have her. So, we're plotting a course or something out of the harbor. I'm also starting to veer rather close to that, is that a Kent-class cruiser? It's British, isn't it? It is. That's a cruiser. Anywho, looks like we're on a course that won't get us killed. Let's actually take a look at the map. That's the right button. I did it. Amazing. That's us. So we're going to set a course towards our objective, which is Rabual, according to the game. Let's try not to hit those stationary vessels. Here we are. You know, when you encounter stationary vessels, you really have to follow your orders to the letter. Yeah? Nobody's gonna laugh at that, alright. I'm just gonna take a straight course here until we get a little bit closer, and then I'm gonna start going a little bit more evasive. Now, one of the, if I remember correctly, and I may not be correct at all about this, but one thing that I'm remembering for some reason is that one of the difficult parts of Trigger Maru is that there are tons of planes, and they want to kill you real bad. So I'm going to try to be a little bit evasive in my perambulations throughout the Pacific. So I'm going to try to stagger my course a little bit, and that also helps with locating enemy traffic too. What is my radius on this? I should actually look at my orders, huh? Oh, we already have flash traffic. For units in Solomon Islands area, there are indications that a major IJN resupply mission will attempt to land supplies on Guadalcanal late PM of 3rd December. We're not going to make it there in time. Or early morning 4th December. Estimated route will have IJN units proceeding down the slot. High speed. Units operating within striking distance attempt to intercept. Okay, well that order really doesn't apply to us because we're not in striking distance at all. I can't remember what my orders are. Just says south of Rabaul. What's the radius? I think it was 75 nautical miles or something like that. I'm just gonna draw a big old circly. That's plenty of room anyways. We'll just do 75 clicks, that's fine. That's not even quite right, but that's plenty of room. So we're going to be sailing around here. I like the look of this area here. It's probably going to be really dangerous. Probably going to have a lot of shipping though. So I'm going to probably focus our efforts right around here. Alright. I like the look of things. We're going to be sailing in calm, friendly waters for a while. So I'll break things here and rejoin you once things get a little bit more interesting. Hey, so this Let's Play is off to a great start. I am coming to you after having reinstalled my mod list. I was noticing that there were some issues with ship traffic, basically that I was not getting any. And I know that one of the features of Trigger Maru is that it decreases the shipping traffic to more believable levels, which is actually something that I wanted. I didn't want to just be constantly flinging torpedoes all over the place. So I thought for a while, well, you know, we could just be in kind of a dry spell, but then I kind of took us right by Rabaul. And the traffic was, there was some scripted traffic in the harbor, but there wasn't anything that appeared around, even though I was sitting outside of it for a while. So I apparently screwed up the load order. I was going to say the Lord Odor, which is my Renfair name. So I went and reinstalled things. I think things are working now, but it just seems to be I don't know. It seems to be a problem that afflicts a lot of Let's Players because we end up. I know, for instance, Variax. He does or is doing a playthrough of Morrowind and Skyrim right now, and as he starts, he puts all these amazing mods into the game, and then as the playthrough continues, they end up being removed because they cause problems that make the game unplayable. Uh-oh, what do we have? That looks like a plane to me. It's moving very fast. One thing I should test, actually. This is good news, actually, because we've got an actual contact, even though it is a plane. One thing I should test, though, is to see if they're actually aggressive, because that was a problem that I had in my previous playthrough, where the planes were just, they would just roll over and want you to rub their belly. And that's not really what, I mean, I have my dog. That's what he's for. Let's get somebody who's good with guns. Dick Muller. You, Dick Muller, you brought her. How about we take this guy, Rob I. Madison, and have him... Actually, we need to do both of these. This, well, actually, we don't even need to do this, because that just increases, I think, the efficiency of this, here. This here compartment, which isn't a compartment because it's on the top of the ship, but whatever. Okay. And it's not a ship, it's a boat. I know. So we've got him in visual range. I'm gonna take a look. Oh, it's a little hazy. There's been smoking up here. Alright, so he's standing at attention. Let's see where this supposed plane is. 103. I don't see him. Another beat on him. 104. Oh, I'm looking. Oh, there we go. Hello, friend. Can I do a lock on him? Apparently not. I can see him plain as day. There you go. Oh, yes. Oh, hey, hey. Where's the sound? That's a little surreal. But, okay. Well, he's landed some hits. And, oh my god, he dropped a bomb. And missed. You can attack anybody. Now, I gave him a bad order there. I told him to only shoot at closing targets. He can shoot at whatever the heck he wants. He's got spectacular aim. I'm not sure what happened to his gun sounds. That's kind of funny, though. And again, having issues. Yep. It's a problem for the captain, too. Okay, well, I guess that was a successful test. But kind of ridiculous. I don't know, maybe I'll throw in my own sound effect. You know what, that's a great idea. I'm going to do exactly that. Alright, we just got some flash traffic, and it says, 4 units on patrol in the truck, which I imagine is a pretty small patrol area. Intelligence source indicate that there at least 3 convoys are en route to truck from home waters. That is an amazing sentence. The 3 convoys are estimated to be arriving truck on 11, 15, and 18 deck 42. Units operating within striking distance attempt to intercept. Truck away being far, us from. Sailing long time from where are now to be. So not truck going now. Area here to go submarine. Having, etc. I did track down the source of the problem with the sound file. I did add my own sound file. And hopefully I will get to show it to you. But we haven't been paid a visit by a plane yet, so I want to actually use it for the right reasons. By the way, I don't know if I communicated this to you yet. We do have a different patrol area. We're going to be here in the Bismarck Sea as opposed to just southeast of Rabaul. full disclosure, I guess. Just wanted to let you know. I was getting a bit nervous there. It's been several days since we arrived in our assignment, and we finally have a radar contact. I'm not sure that he's actually even going to detect us. I hope that he does. I think that we're just a wee bit too far away, though. Drat. Oh well. You can't have everything. Well, again, that's a good sign, because I was starting to think that we were having the same problem that we had before with no contacts. But again, that is a contact. It's not the kind of contact that I want, but there are things out there. So I take some stock in that. But hopefully we'll run into something that's a little bit closer next time. Now we're talking. Alright. Let's get what's-his-butt on the gun. By the way, I will be adding people to the patrol, but I'm going to wait until this patrol is done. He's sleeping. Well, I do like sleeping as well, so I'm going to go ahead and put Lee Simmons on the AA gun, and I'm going to... Whoops. Well, that's one way to do it, I guess. See if
yes, sir. Man the flak gun.
Good to go. Yes, indeed. All right. I'm gonna have him fire at will.
Aircraft spotted. Firing at will.
Spirit my way up to the. Well, I'm gonna just go to the very tippy top of the ship here, hanging onto the mast like a madman. 56 degrees. Let's see here. Pixel. Where are you? There you go. Ooh, that is not a float plane. It's a Betty or something like that. Alright, start shooting, pal. Oh, jeez. Okay. What is going on right now? What the fuck? That was way better than I thought it would be. Let me do that. Jesus, that was so worth it. Oh my god. I know it sounds conceited, but I'm doing God's work. Fucking game. Oh, that was awesome. I am not gonna change that. Well, at least not for a while. I will probably get tired of that, but... that is just fantastic. We've completed our duties here, and I have requested new orders. I am to proceed to a position along the Japanese Rabaul shipping lanes and conduct anti-shipping operations. Remain on station for 72 hours, however, if IJN units are detected outside of the patrol area. Proceed at your discretion, yada, yada, yada. Sure. It's been very, very quiet here. So, I'm actually up for this. This also puts us somewhat near truck, so that should be interesting. So, I'm going to plot a course around this island. By the way, I apologize for the volume of our gunfire, quote unquote. So I think I've made suitable adjustments. I'm also noticing that the frame rate isn't so great, so probably in the video after this one I'll drop it to 30. Just because my computer is a poor, decrepit... Well, it's not that bad, it just... I don't know. Just doesn't want to cooperate with my zany Let's Playing hijinks for some reason. So... there's that. I will probably be dropping that down nobody's really that disappointed, but I think it'll look better in the long run. So, with all that having been said, I'm going to set a course towards this little spot right here, and towards more fart sounds.